a solid background and a good network. In the field, you meet a lot of people who are just unforgettable, but the most inspiring moment have been the ones where this job reminds you to remain humble.
Three things. First, a community of practitioners, for example, graduates who have done this program for the past 20 years. Second, a sense of responsibility. In my work, I have to always remind myself that I'm working for people, because we are working for humanitarian work. And third, opportunity. That opportunity, I cannot say more than that. It's laid out in there. The best inspiring moment in my career was as a technical coordinator of a partnership among 5 UN agencies. I had the opportunity to sign an agreement wherein it says that I have to provide money to 7 country programs at the country level in Bolivia, in Nicaragua, in Nepal, 3 countries in Africa, that would result into reform of policies and laws on indigenous peoples. An indigenous person myself, and doing that is very, very inspiring.
NOHA has brought to me a rich network of people that I meet time and again in the field. And we in the NOHA network, we call it's our NOHA family. Yeah. The most inspiring moment in my career was when working with the Red Cross in Togo in 2011. And it was a critical situation. It was not foreseeable that it could be dangerous in that moment, but as we had the protective symbol, the Red Cross on our vehicle, and Red Cross volunteers who were ready to disseminate our role, we managed to pass through without any problems. Yeah.
NOHA has made me a stronger person and has helped me to connect with humanity in a much better way. Every day in the field is inspiring for me because I'm working in Afghanistan, but whenever I see a smile on the face of a child or women, with the communities I'm working with, I feel really inspired.
First, to access a very wide variety of approaches to humanitarian action and to break barriers sometimes existing between institutional approaches and NGOs approaches. And I think the fact that through NOHA you're able to listen to multiple actors from the field and from headquarters, from the humanitarian world, gives you very different perspectives. There's no one single moment, but if I have to pick one, Kenya, 94, after inter-ethnic violence, 300 people displaced person, and this one man, Irish priest, in a camp of displaced person who's working alone. And he's devoting his time, his life to help out the people there. You want to be part of a solution to bring him international backup.
NOHA has brought to me the interest and hopefully also the capacity to look at humanitarian action holistically, to look at all of the components across the board rather than each little bit in isolation. So that's certainly, I think, an important, very important aspect. There are many inspirational moments. Every time one is witnessing humanitarian action in action, it's inspirational. Being in a position to help people in need. And one that particularly comes to my mind is Darfur in 2004, and seeing tens of thousands of people arriving to a new camp with absolutely nothing, and being in that fortunate position to provide some, be it limited, assistance at that time.
The biggest advantage of NOHA is the feeling to be a part of a bigger network, and knowing all these people all around the world that are doing interesting things, and always having the possibility to contact somebody all over the world. I find it most rewarding when I get direct feedback from the people we work with and the people that are supposed to benefit from what we do. For example, last week I got a phone call from someone that we had helped return to the Dominican Republic, and he called me to thank me for the assistance, so that I find really inspiring.
In-depth knowledge of the environment in which we work. You work from programmatic level at the surface of things, and after this knowledge that NOHA brought me, then I could work with more rational and more knowing the environment, and you know why you are helping people and why they are here. There are many, but I remember one, for instance, in Darfur in 2005, when you go and work into the large camps of displaced people, with people queuing for a bit of water. This is striking and moment when you feel you have a lot to do and you are here for something.
The basic theoretical principles and the basis for my profession. So I have been working in humanitarian aid or international development in the last 16 years after I left NOHA in '97. It's a profession that I love, but also brought me other things that I love. For instance, my wife that I met during NOHA, and my two children that I have with the wife that I met in '96, '97 in Deusto. Well, the most inspiring moment in my career it was when I was appointed Deputy Director of the Department of Human Rights and Rule of Law within the OSCE mission in Kosovo. But the mission that I really keep as an special mission within my heart is the one that I had in Croatia in 1997 in the former Guinard.
For me, the most important lesson I took from NOHA is the anthropology class. because it helped me to contextualize everything we do, take into account the local culture, and I think getting that has allowed me to become a better project manager because I do things not standardized but according to the local context. There have been many great moments, but I think one that stuck in my mind is back in 2003 in the West Bank in Palestine, working with the ICRC. There was, in the winter, a lot of snow, some day that came, 40 centimeters, and everything was blocked. And I was driving back to Jerusalem, and I found a Red Crescent ambulance that was stuck in the snow. And so I tracked them back to Nablus, but at some point I was stuck as well. And finally we were helped by the Israeli Defense Forces to get the ambulance back in the city. And for me, like, that illustrated that even in a situation when there is a lot of tension and sometimes very conflictual relationships, humanity is still there and allows people to show humanity to each other even in such tense situations.